Hello there. Huyu ni teacher wa mtaa anakuletea revision ya hesabu. This question ni kutoka approximation and errors. Hii topic inakuanga ya form 3, topic 2. Kcse syllabus. Swali yangu inasema the length of this is 2015 Kcse Mathematics paper 2 question number 1. Na inasema the length and the width of a rectangular piece of paper were measured 60 cm and 12 cm respectively. Determine the relative error in the calculation of its area, and it is worth 4 marks. Now, tunajua area ya rectangle inakuanga area is equals to length times width. So, kwa sababu tumepewa length na tumepewa width, tunaweza sema actual area itakuwa 60 multiplied by 12, na hiyo itatupatia 720 centimeter squared. So that is the actual area ya hiyo rectangle. Alafu tunajua the least unit of this measurement of the rectangle is 1. So when you divide 1 by 2, you get it 0.5. So tunasema minimum area. Yenye tunasema ni minimum area. Tutachukua ya length yenye itakuwa 59.5 to multiply na minimum ya width yenye itakuwa 11.5. That as I mean, unatoa 0.5 kwa 60 ndio inakupatia 59.5, na unatoa 0.5 the least unit of the measurement there, na hapo ndio tunapata 684.25. Sasa tumepata minimum area. Maximum area naye tunaongeza 0.5 kwa our units. Kwa hivyo itakuwa 60.5 tuna multiply na 12.5, na hii itatupatia 756.25. Na hii ni centimeter squared, hii ni centimeter squared. But kishapata maximum and minimum area, to get error we are required to get the relative error. So we get absolute error itakuwa the maximum area minus the minimum area divided by 2. So itakuwa 756.25, unatoa minimum yenye ni 684.25, na una divide na 2. Yenye utapata it is equals to 36. So relative error inakuanga absolute error divide by actual area, and that equals to itakupatia, tumepata absolute error ni 36, you divide by the actual area is 720, na hii inatupatia 0.05. So that is the absolute error, and you earn yourself 4 marks. So that's how you work out that. Nafikiri umeelewa. Kama uko na swali unaweza nitumia nikujibu. Hello there. Huyu ni teacher wa mtaa akikuletea revision ya Kcse past papers, and today in this video I wanted to look at the question of 2015 Kcse Mathematics paper 2 question number 2. Hii swali ilikuwa imetoka kwa topic inaitwa sats, and unaambiwa simplify the root of 11 divide by the root of 11 minus 7. You added 2 marks. Sasa ukiambiwa usimplify, inamaanisha utoe hii sad kwa denominator hii. Ikue denominator haina sad, yani hii roots za 11 na 7. Na kuweza kufanya hivyo, tuna multiply hii expression na its conjugate. Conjugate ya 11 minus root 7 ni na inakuwa ni root 11 plus root 7. Ile kitu tunabadilisha ni sign. Hapa tuko na plus na hapa tuko na minus na hapa tuko na plus. Ukimultiply hizi mbili utapata sides zitatoka. Kwa hivyo tutatake hiyo principle ili tuweze kutoa sides kwa denominator. Basi tunakuja hapa tuandike equation yetu or our expression. Tuseme root 11 tuna divide na root 11 minus root 7. Tuna multiply na its conjugate yenye ni root 11 plus root 7. Na tuna divide na the same root 11 plus hiyo ni plus root 7. Ukiangalia hapa root 11 na plus root 7 tukidivide na root 11 plus root 7 itakuwa 1. Kwa hivyo ni kama tumeapply hii expression na 1. Kwa hivyo hatuna kitu tumebadilisha. Ukimultiply anything by 1 it remains the same. So we now multiply root 11 times root 11 itakupatia 11. Ukimultiply roots unatoa hiyo root yenye iko hapo. Root 11 times root 7 itakupatia plus root 11 root 7. Tuna divide, tumemaliza na numerator. Tuna multiply root 11 times root 11 itakupatia 11. Alafu root 11 times root 7 itatupatia plus root 11 root 7. Alafu tuna multiply minus root 7 times root 11 takpania minus root 11 root 7. Na tukimultiply minus root 7 to multiply na root 7 itakupatia minus 7. Ukiangalia hapa root 11 root 7 minus root 11 itatoka. Kwa hivyo tutabaki na 11. Hii tunaweza combine na tuseme hii itakuwa 11 plus tunatumia root moja, kwa hivyo itakuwa 11 times 7 itakuwa 77 divide by 11 minus 7, hiyo nayo inakuwa 4. Kwa hivyo tumesimplify kwa sababu tumeweza kutoa sides kwa denominator. Ile side imebaki ni moja yenye iko kwa numerator. Hivyo ndio unafanya hiyo hesabu na unajipatia marks 2. So if you have any question unaweza ipost na unitumie. I'll be able to explain in case hujaelewa. Hello there. Huyu ni teacher wa mtaa akiwa hapa kukuletea revision ya hesabu. Na leo tutaangalia swali yenye ilifanywa 2015 Mathematics paper 2 question number 3. Na inasema an arc 11 cm long subtends an angle of 70 degrees at the center of the circle. Calculate the length, collect 1 decimal place of a chord that subtends an angle of 90 at the center of the circle. Hapo unapewa marks 4. What we can do here is let's make a sketch to help us understand what's happening here. So I'll make an arc. So that is just a sketch, and then our sketch tunaambiwa hii ina extend an angle of 70. So hii ni 70 degrees. Haya, na hii ni 11 cm. So that is the information given. Sasa tunatakiwa ku find out the chord yenye ina hii angle itakuwa 20 ndio hii kuwe 90. So this is our x. Kwa hivyo tukipata x toward na 11 itatupatia the arc. Na hapa tunatakiwa kutafuta chord. Hiyo ndio chord. Tunaweza ita AB. So that is just to help you understand what is happening. This is the radius of the circle. Kwa hivyo tutaanza na kutafuta. For us to get the chord, tutaanza na kusema what is our radius. Radius yetu ni ngapi? So tutasema, since we know that when you get the angle 70 over the length of the arc, that is 70 degrees divided by 360 multiplied by 2 times pi, 22 over 7 multiplied by r, that should give us 11. That is the length of the arc. Kwa hivyo tutakuja tuseme our r is equals to 11 tukimultiply zile na 360 to multiply na 7 na to divide na zenye ziko kwa numerator yenye ni 70. So these are degrees, multiply by 2 multiply by 22. Hiyo itatupatia ngapi? Unaweza tumia calculator yako and utapata r yetu itakuwa 9. Kwa hivyo tumepata radius. Radius ni 9 cm. Kisha pata radius, tunajua since this is an angle of 90, then if we say this is our center of the center of the circle, triangle OAB is a right angle triangle. So tunaweza sema hiyo ni a right angle triangle, since this angle is 90, 70 plus 20. And therefore, since we have found our radius is 9, that is 9 and that is 9. So this is 9 and that is 9. Kumaanisha, this is the chord now. This is our chord. This means tumia Pythagoras theorem na tuseme our chord, this is now our AB. Tuseme AB, which is our chord, is equals to the square root of 9 times 9 squared. That is a Pythagoras theorem. Na ukitumia calculator yako utapata ni 12.7 centimeter, and this is to 1 decimal place. Sasa hivyo ndio unasolve swali na unajipatia marks 4. Na asante kwa kuangalia. Ukiwa na swali unaweza niambia, unaweza nitumia na nitaweza kukusaidia. Asante. Hi. Huyo ni teacher wa mtaa akikuletea revision ya mathematics. Hii video tunaangalia question number 4 2015 mathematics paper 2, na inasema in the figure below O is the center of the circle. So we are given O there. A, B, C and D are points on the circumference of the circle. So we have our A, B, C and D. Line AB, this is our line AB here, is parallel to DC, and we are given angle ADC is equals to 55 degrees. You are required to determine the size of angle ACB. Angle ACB is this angle. So how do we do that? For you to be able to get that angle, you need to use the information given so that you determine this angle. First of all, since we have DC is a diameter, This angle we are given is 90. A diameter makes an angle of 90 at the circumference. So this angle is 55 plus 90. That will give us 145. So that is angle 55. We add to 90. This will give us angle 145. So we can be able to get this angle by getting 180 degrees with minus 145. Kiminus hiyo itakupatia, this is 5, itakupatia 35 degrees. Kumaanisha hii angle hapa ni 35, not 30 but 35. Haya, so tumetumia ile information tuko nayo hapo kudetermine angle ACD. Haya, tunaambiwa AB is parallel to D. Kumaanisha AC is a transversal line cutting through two parallel lines. Therefore, these are vertically opposite angle. This angle here is 35. It is the same as this angle. These two angles are vertically opposite angles kwenye line yenye imekata two parallel lines. Haya, kama tumepata hiyo angle, tunajua opposite angle of quadrilateral, cyclic quadrilateral, hii angle hapa na hii ya 55, they add up to 180. Kwa hivyo tukitoa 180 degrees tutoe 55 degrees, tutabaki na 25 degrees. 125 degrees. Kumaanisha hii angle hapa ni 125, not the full of that angle, but this is 125, that angle. So kama hiyo angle ni 125 na ABC is a triangle, basi tutasema tuta add these two angles, 35 na 125. So 125 degrees to add na 35 degrees, na hiyo itakupatia 160 degrees. Haya, na these three angles add up to 1. Kupata this angle here which we are interested in, itakuwa ni 180 degrees tutoe 160, na hiyo itatupatia 20 degrees. Kumaanisha angle A, C, B, let's write that properly, ACB is equals to 20 degrees, and that is what we are required to get. So once you get up to that point, you earn yourself 3 marks. Hope you have understood how to go about it. Huyo ni teacher wa mtaa akikuletea revision ya hesabu ya KCSE, na leo hii video tunaangalia 2015 KCSE Mathematics paper 2 question number 5, which is from form 1 topic, that is ratios. And it says 11 people can complete the job, can complete 3/5 of a job in 24 hours. Determine the time in hours. Correct to 2 decimal places that 7 people working at the same time can complete the remaining job. Now, for us to be able to do this, let's say we have the number of people. P represent people. We had 11 people that did the job. Then we have the job, and we say 3/5 of the job was completed, and it was completed in 24 hours. So H represent hours. From there, we have the number of people were reduced to 7. The remaining job, if 3/5 of a job of the job was done, then it means 2/5 of the job is remaining, and we are supposed to find the hours these 7 people took. Now, what we normally say is we are looking for X. We are looking for X, and we say X is equals to, we want to find what happens to the number of hours after making these changes. So we say it is 24. We multiply. When you reduce the number of people from 11 to 7, it means they will take more hours than when they were 11, and therefore the number of hours will increase by 11 over 7. Then we multiply by, now the job remaining is less than the job that was done, meaning they should take less hours, and therefore we are supposed to divide by 2 over 5. We divide by 3 over 5. The job will reduce in that ratio. So let us first of all deal with this. So we say it is 2 over 5 multiplied by that's 5 over 3. 5 divided by 5, you get 1. So this is 2 over 3, and therefore this is equals to we say it is 24 multiplied by 11 over 7 multiplied by 2 over 3. You can use your calculator to do that, and you should get 25.14 hours. So they will take 25.14 hours, and this is to two decimal places. So that is how you work it out. I hope you have understood, and that should be the answer. You earn yourself for 3 marks. We are told the length and width of a rectangular signboard are 3x plus 12 into bracket centimeter and into bracket x minus 4 centimeter respectively. If the diagonal of the signboard is 200 centimeter, determine the area. So we can say this is a signboard, and we are told the length is 3x plus 12, and the width is x minus 4, and this is centimeter. This is centimeter, and the diagonal is 200 centimeter. So because it is rectangular, so these angles are 90 and this angle is 90. Therefore we can use the Pythagoras theorem. This is 3x plus 12 centimeter, and say 3x plus 12 centimeters squared and x minus 4 centimeters squared will be equals to the diagonal. So we write 3x plus 12 squared, that is the longer side squared, plus the shorter side squared, that is x minus 4. That should give you the diagonal, or the hypotenuse side squared. So when you open the bracket, you square this, you will be able to get, this is 9x squared plus this will be this is 12. This is not 2 but 12. So this will be plus 72 plus 72x, and then plus 12 squared is 144, and you also square this, so that is squared. So plus x squared minus 8x, that is plus 16, is equals to 200 squared. We'll be able to get 40,000. That is 40,000. So 9x you add to x, 9x squared plus x squared, that will give you 10x squared. You add to plus 72x minus 8x, that will give you 64x, plus 160 is equals to 40,000. which you can then you say 10x squared. You have you minus 64x. Bring 40 to this side, you'll be able to get minus, and add 60 minus 39,840 is equals to 0. This is a quadratic equation. We can divide by 2 throughout. You get 5x squared minus 32x minus 19,000. When you divide that, 920 is equals to 0. Is a quadratic equation, and because our constant 19,200 is so big, to get the coefficient, I decided to use a formula to be able to get the area, the value of x. So I said x is equals to minus 32 plus or minus the square root of 32 squared minus 4. Our a is 5 and our c is negative. So that negative and this negative changes to positive, negative 19,920. So you divide by 2, multiply by a, which our a is 5. Here you need now to make use of your calculator here to work out what is under the square root sign, and you'll be able to get this is equals to minus 32 plus or minus. When you work out that, you'll be able to get 632. All this is divided by 10. So it means our x is equals to minus 32 plus 632, that is 600. 600 divided by 10, that will give you 60. The other one will be minus 32 minus 632, that is 664. And 664 divided by minus 60 divided by 10, that is minus 6. That is 66.2. So because length cannot be negative, you ignore this and you say your x is equals to 60. So area is then you will be able to get area is equals to length times width. So it is 3 multiplied by 60 plus 12, and you multiply by 60 minus 4, and this will give you 192. That is 180 plus 12 is 182. You multiply by, that is 56, and this will be equals to 10,752, and that is centimeter squared.
Hello, this is Teacher Wamta revising with you mathematics, and in this video we are looking at question number 7 in 2015 Kcse mathematics paper 2. So we are going to see what is was supposed to be done. So we are given, find the value of x given that the log x minus 1 plus 2 is equals to log 3x plus 2 plus log 25. That was worth 3 marks. So let us write our expression here. This question is from Form 3 syllabus, the topic known as further logarithm. So we write our expression. So this is the logarithm of x minus 1 plus. Now this is where the secret lies. This we need to convert 2 to be in logarithmic notation. So let's say we take 100 is equals to 10 squared. The logarithm of 100 to base 10 is equals to 2. So we replace 2 with the log of 100 is equals to the logarithm of x 3x plus 2, put the bracket, plus the logarithm of 25. Now from there we can be able now to combine the logarithm using the logarithmic notation and say this is the logarithm of x minus 1. Because we have addition here, then we multiply, so we multiply by 100 is equals to the logarithm. The same case here, we are going to multiply 3x plus 2, we multiply by 25. So this is multiplication. Then we have now get the anti-logarithm of both sides, implying this logarithm disappears. We open the bracket, this will be 100x minus 100 is equals to, this will be 75x plus 50. We can bring the right terms together. So you have our 100x minus 75x. So when 75x comes to this side, becomes negative, and 100 becomes positive once it crosses the equal sign. So it is 50 plus 100. So this is 25x is equals to 150. Divide both sides by 25. So 25 divided by 25 is 1. 150 divided by 25 is 6, implying that our x is equal to 6. And that is how you do that question. I hope have been clear. In any case of any question, you can always get in touch. So question number 8, this is application of binomial expansion. Use expansion of x minus y into bracket to power 5 to evaluate 9.8 to power 5, correct to 4 decimal places, and you get 3 marks. So you can check from your mathematical table the Pascal triangle, or you can generate the Pascal triangle the way we do it. So we have 1, 1, we have 1, 2, 1, we have 1, 3, 3, 1, we have 4, we have 1, we have 6, we have 4, we have 1, we have 5, we have 1, we have 10, we have 10, we have 5, and that is 5. And they say this is power 0, power 1, that is that is to power 1, this is to power 2, this is to power 3, that is to power 4, and that is to power 5. So when you expand, you can, these are the coefficients of the expansion. So you'll be able to get this is equals to x to power minus y to power 5 is equals to x to power 5. Because we have a minus, we interchange the minus and plus positive. So we say minus 5x to power 4y to power 1 plus 10x to power 3 y squared minus 10x to power 2 y cubed plus 5 xy to power 4, and finally we have minus y to power 5. So that is the expansion. Then 9.8 to power 5 is the same as this is the same as we can say it is the same as 10 minus 0.2 to power 5. That is the same as and that is 9.58 to power 5. So this is equal. So we substitute 10 in place of x and minus 0.2 that is 0.2 in place of y, because already we have taken care of the minus. So this will give us 10 to power 5 minus 5 10 to power 4 multiplied by 0.2. The other one is plus that will give us 10 multiplied by 10 to power 3, and we have 0.2 squared, and we have minus that is 10. We have taken care of 10. This is 10 to power 4, that is 10. The other one is 10 squared, and we have 0.2 to power 3. Then we have plus 5 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 0.2 to power 4, and finally we have minus 0.2 to power 5. So you can use your calculator and you'll be able to get all this. When you multiply, you get 90,392. We are told to 4 decimal places, so 0.797. So that's how you work out that, and you get yourself 3 marks. Question number 9. The diameter of a circle center O has its endpoint at m minus 1, 6 and n 5 minus 2. Find the equation of the circle in the form x squared plus y squared plus ax plus by is equals to c, where a, b and c are constant. So the first thing we do, we need to find the center of the circle. So to get that, since mn is the diameter, so we're going to say center is equals to, what we do is we add minus 1 plus 5 and we divide by 2 to get the midpoint of the diameter, which is the center of the circle, and the other one is 6 plus minus 2 divided by 2. So this is plus and 2 is minus, and you close the bracket. That will be able to give you, this is 4 and divide by 2 is 2, and this is 6 minus 2, that is 4 divided by 2. So that is the center of the circle. If that is the radius, we need to find, that is the center, we need to find the radius, and to get the radius, it is half the diameter. So we say radius is equals to the magnitude of the diameter, that is d. You divide by 2 to get the radius. So to get d, what we do is we say the square root of minus 5, not minus 5 but minus 1, minus 1 minus 5, and this is squared. So that is change in x. Then you add to plus change in y, 6 plus 2, that is squared. So that is equals to 2 has become positive because of them, it is negative. So this will be the square root of, we divide by 2 to get the radius, square root of that 6 plus 64 divide by 2, and that should give you 5, because that 6 plus 64 is 100, square root is 10, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. Now we go to the equation of the circle. We normally say, since we have the center, the equation of the circle will be x minus 2. We take the negative value of the center, that is plus y, that is y minus 2 squared,
should be equals to the radius we have found is 5, so it is 5 squared. That is the equation of the circle, and when you expand this you will be able to get x squared plus 4x. That is, you start by expanding x minus 2, x 4x plus 4. Then we expand y minus 2. That will give us y squared minus 4x. And then we have plus 4 is equals to 5 squared is 25. Once you get that, then you should be able to add the right terms and put them together. So we have, we rearrange and say x squared plus y squared minus, now we take 4x plus 4y, minus 4y, not 4y. Then we have 4 plus 4 is 8. We take it to the other side. We subtract 25 minus 8, we get 17. So that is the equation of the circle, where now our A is, you can see our A is what we have at 4 minus 4, our B is minus 4, and our C is 17. So you get the answer at that point, and you get 4 marks. Question number 10, we are told below is a line AB and a point X such at a point determine the locus of a point P equidistant from point A and B and 4 centimeter from X. So to be able to do this question, what you need is to bisect AB so that you get the perpendicular bisector, and that will be the point where the point P is equidistant from A and B. Then you are told it is 4 centimeter from X. So from X you take the center, X as the center of the circle, and you draw a circle. The point P will be where the circle and the perpendicular bisector intersect. So let's go ahead and do that. So what I have done, I have made 2 marks using point A and B, and now I'm going to draw a line join where the 2 arcs intersect. That will, I'll come up with the perpendicular bisector of AB. So that is the perpendicular bisector of AB. Meaning at any point, if you take that point, the distance from A to that point is the same as the distance from B to that point. So this is the midpoint of line AB. From there, since we are told that the point P is 4 centimeter from X, we are going to use X as the center of the circle and draw a circle whose radius is 4 centimeter. So this is a circle that I have drawn, and now since we are told to determine the locus, so that is this is a point P. We can say that is point P1, and that is P2. And if you measure the distance from P1 to P2, you will be able to get 6 plus or minus 0.1 centimeter when you do it correctly. Otherwise, the diagram that follows is what you get when you do it manually using a pencil and you can use a compass. But that is the procedure of going about it. In a nomination for a committee, 2 people are to be selected at random from a group of 3 men and 5 women. Find the probability that a man and a woman were selected. And this is from probability, and to understand it more better, can use a tree diagram. So we have a man and a woman. Since there were 3 men and 5 women, the probability of selecting a man is 3/8, and the probability of selecting a woman, this is 3/not that. The probability of selecting a woman is 5/8. Then the second selection, you can select a man or you can select a woman. So this probability, since you have selected a man, the first option, so 2 men will be left out of 7. You have not picked on any woman, so they remain 5/7 because you have selected 1 man. You come to the other branch. Then the probability, you can select a man or a woman. The probability of selecting a man, since you have selected a woman, the men are still 3/7, and 1 woman was selected, so the women will remain 4/7. So the probability of selecting a man and a woman is, the first option is of selecting a man and then selecting a woman. So that will be a man and a woman. The other option is when you first select a woman and then a man. So we have a woman and a man. Those are the only 2 probabilities that you can get. So the probability, so you say probability of selecting a man and a woman, is equals to the probability of selecting a man, 3/8. You multiply by 5/7, or, which we use plus, the probability of picking a woman, 5/8. You multiply by, and picking a man, you multiply by 3/7. So this is equals to 15/56, that is 8 times 7 plus 15/56, which will give you 30/56, because we have a common denominator, which you can simplify and say this is by 2 is 15, by 2 is 28. So the probability is equals to 15/28. That is the probability of picking or selecting a man and a woman. So that's how you do that. You get yourself 2 marks. Okay, you don't have, if you understand it properly, you don't have to draw the tree diagram, but it is good to ensure that you get the correct thing.
Hello my friend, this is teacher wa mtaa. Leo tunafanya revision ya 2015 Kcse Mathematics paper 2 question number 12. Na swali linasema hivi: a school decided to buy at least 32 bags of maize and beans. The number of bags of maize were to be more than 20 and the number of beans were to be at least 6. A bag of maize cost 2,500 Kenyan shillings and a bag of beans cost 3,500. The school had 100,000 Kenyan shillings to purchase the maize and beans. Write down all the inequality to satisfy the above information and you get your 4 marks. So hii marks ni kama tu ya bure. Hii topic ni, hii swali ni kutoka inequalities yenye mulifanya form 2 na pia form 4 part of it. So tunaangalia the number, shule ilikuwa inataka kununua 32 bags of maize and beans. The number of bags of maize were to be more than 20. Kwa hivyo tutasema hapa ni maize ikuwe represented by x na beans zikuwe represented na y. Kwa hivyo kama shule ilikuwa inataka kununua more than 20 bags, tutasema x ilikuwa must be greater than 20 bags, more than 20 bags. Naye beans ilikuwa the number of bags to be at least 6, meaning y which represent beans should be greater or equals to 6 at least. Zisipungue 6, that's what this word means, at least 6 or more. A bag of maize cost of 2,500 and a cost of one bag of beans 3,500. Na shule ilikuwa na 100,000. Kwa hivyo ni kumaanisha ukichukua 2,500 multiply the number of bags of maize, you add 3,500 number times the number of beans that were bought must be less than or equals to 100, kwa sababu hawawezi kutumia pesa more than 100 yenye haziko, so it must be either itoshe 100 ama itoshe ama ikuwe less. Alafu tunaambiwa walikuwa wanataka 32 bags of maize. Hapa ni kumaanisha x plus y should be at least should be greater or equals to 32, at least isipungue 32. So those are the inequalities that you are supposed to form, and you get yourself 4 marks. So I hope you have understood what we have done. So welcome.
Question number 13, we are told evaluate, integrate limits 2 and 4 x squared plus 2x minus 15 dx. You get 3 marks. This is from the topic integration. So when you integrate this function, you can write it like this. This is 2 and 4. You put the bracket x squared plus 2x minus 15. You close the bracket with respect to x. That's the way it's supposed to be written. So you write this is equals to, you integrate and you will say this will be x. You add 1 to the index, you get 3, and you divide by 3, the new index. Then plus, we have 2x, you add 1, you get x squared, and you divide by the new index. Then you minus 15x to power 1, and the limits are 2 and 4. So when you do that, you now substitute 4 in place of x. So you say it is 4 cubed divided by 3 plus 4 squared. That is we are substitute, because here you divide 2 by 2, that's why we are getting 4 squared minus 15. You multiply by 4. The dot represent multiplication. So you close the bracket. Then you say minus, you substitute 2 for x. So we have 2 cubed divided by 3. Then we have plus 2 squared. And then we have minus 15 multiplied by 2. So you close the bracket. When you compute this, you can use your calculator. You will be able to get, this is minus 22 and 2 thirds. Don't write it in decimal, write it in fraction. Because if you write in decimal, it will be an approximation and you will not be able to get the correct answer. So minus 23 and a third, and when you subtract that, this will change to addition. So this is equals to minus 22 and 2 thirds. This is plus 23 and a third, and you should get 2 over 3. Actually, this represents the area under the curve between 2 and 4, the curve of the quadratic function x squared plus 2 squared minus 15, and that is in Form 4 topic known as integration.
Welcome to this video. This is teacher wa mtaa akikuletea revision ya mathematics. Na kwa hii video nataka tuangalie question number 14 yenye ilifanywa 2015 mathematics paper 2. Inasema the position of 2 points P and Q on the surface of the earth are P 45 degrees north, 36 degrees east, and Q 45 degrees 71 degrees east. Calculate the distance in nautical miles between P and Q. Correct to 1 decimal place. You get yourself 3 marks. So the formula that we use, these 2 points, we note that they are on the same latitude but different longitude. So we are going to use a formula that we use to get the distance between 2 points along the small circles, and this is the formula alpha multiplied by 60 cos theta. This formula, the angle alpha represent the longitude angle, and in this case P is at 36 and Q is at 71, so this means it is equals to 71 degrees minus 36 degrees, you get 35 degrees. So alpha is at 5. Theta is represent the latitude angle. The latitude angle, they are on the same latitude, 45 degrees, so this is equals to 45 degrees to the north. Now from there we now substitute these values, so PQ is equals to we'll say our alpha is 35 multiplied by 60 the cos of 45 degrees. These are degrees, so this is equals to, when you use your calculator, you multiply, you get it is 1484.9 nautical miles, and this is to 1 decimal place. You find when you use a calculator there will be more decimal, but we are told here to correct to 1 decimal place. So that's how you work out that question, and you earn yourself 3 marks. Huyo ni teacher wa mtaa akikuletea revision ya mathematics, na kwa hii video nataka tuangalie 2015 Kcse mathematics paper 2 question number 15. Inasema solve the equation sin into bracket half x minus 30 degrees is equals to cos x for 0 less than or equals to x less than or equals to 90, na hapo unajipatia 2 marks. So kwa hii swali utatumia hii knowledge. Tunasemanga kama you have sin x is equals to cos 90 minus x. The same case we say cos x is equals to sin 90 minus x. So that's a relationship. These are degrees, and therefore we can say that sin into bracket I have x minus 30 degrees into bracket is equals to, instead of sin, instead of cosine, we write this is the same as sin 90 degrees minus x. Okay, so we now have managed to express both sides in the terms of sine. So when you get and sine or sine inverse of this, sine goes, and therefore our half x minus degrees is equals to 90 degrees minus x. We take x to the other side, it becomes positive, and this goes to the other side, becomes negative. So it means tutapata 1.5 x, that is x plus a half, is equals to 120, which we can write 3/2x is equals to 120 degrees, and therefore divide by 2 and divide by 3, you'll be able to find that x is equals to 120 multiplied by 2 divided by 3, that cancels. 120 divided by 3 is 40. 40 degrees multiplied by 2, x is equals to 80. And since we are told that our range is between 0 and 90, then that is the only value of angle that satisfies our equation here. So that's how you work out that question, and you earn yourself 2 marks. Hello, huyu ni teacher wa mtaa kikuletea revision ya mathematics. Na leo kwa hii video tutaangalia 2015 KCSE Mathematics paper 2 question number 16. Inasema the position vectors of points P, Q and R are OP is equals to minus 3, 6, OQ is equals to 2, 1, and OR is equals to 4, 1. Show that P, Q and R are collinear. So this is vectors that you covered in Form 2. And the first thing you know is that we should understand the relationship between column vectors and position vectors. So OP, if OP is minus 3, 6, then the coordinates of P are minus 3, 6. We just write in column form when you are writing the position vector of the coordinates. And the Q coordinates are 2, 1. This is a position vector of Q, and R, the coordinates of R are 4, minus 1. So those are the coordinates. Then it means we have to look for the column vectors. That is PQ is equals to OQ minus OP, which is equals to we are given our OQ is 2, 1, and our OP is minus 3, 6. So when you do that, you should get it is 5. 2 minus 3 is 5, and this is minus 5. So this is the same as we count 5. We will be left with 1 minus 1. So from there we go to position vector PR. PR is OR minus OP, which is equals to OR is 4 minus 1, and OP is minus 3, 6. So when you subtract that, that should give you 7, and then minus 6, it is minus 7, close the bracket, which you can write, factor out 7, you'll be left with 1 minus 1. You can see these two vectors, this one and this one. If we divide this by 5, we end up with we divide this vector, you end up with 1 and minus 1. You divide this by 7, you'll be left with 1. That is you'll be left with 1 and minus 1. That is when you divide by 5, when you divide by 7. Now, so we can say, form a relationship here is that when you divide 1 over 5 of PQ, this one, it is the same as 1 over 7 PR. And then we can multiply both sides by 5. Therefore, our PQ is equals to 5 over 7 PR. So we have been able to express one vector in terms of the other, and all the 3 points are there. That is P, Q, and R. and therefore we conclude that the 3 points are collinear. P, Q, and R are collinear. So that's how we work out that question. Hope you have understood how we have gone about it, and you get yourself 3 marks. Question number 17 is normally the first question in section 2. And when answering questions in this section, the first thing you do is to go through all the 8 questions, tick the ones that you are comfortable to solve, then start solving them. Otherwise, if you start just solving any problem, you may find later that there are some questions you miss which were easy for you to solve. So let's have a look at question number 17. It says, in a retail shop, the market price of a cooker was 36,000 shillings, Kenyan shillings. Wanadi bought the cooker on a higher purchase term. She paid 6,400 Kenyan shilling deposit, followed by 20 equal monthly installment of 1,750. So calculate part A, Roman number 1, the total amount of money she paid for the cooker. Because of space, let me utilize this space. She paid a deposit of 6,400. Then he paid 1,750 for 20 months. So you multiply by 20. And by doing that, you find that she paid 41,000 using your calculator, 400 Kenyan shillings. So that is the total amount that she paid. Roman number 2, you'll find the extra amount of money she paid above the marked price. So the marked price was 36. So this is Roman number 2. And this is Roman number 1. So the max price was 36,000. So and she paid 41,400. So you can minus 36,000. So you'll be able to get 0, 0, 0, and this is 5. That is this is 4, not 5. So this is 4. And this is 5. She paid 5,400 extra. Part B, the total amount of money paid on higher purchase terms was calculated as compound interest rate on the marked price for 20 months. Determine the rate per annum of the compound interest correct to 1 decimal place. So we use a formula for the compound interest. So we have our principal is equals to 36,000. That is the market price, and you say it is 1 plus R over 100. R over 100. So let's remove that. So this will be the amount, and this is you'll be able to say the power raised to power. The number she paid for 20 months, so 20 divided by 12 is equals to you get 41,400. So we are supposed to find R. So you can divide both sides by 36,000. So we have 1 plus R divided by 100 into bracket 20 over to power 20 over 12. When you divide 41,400 by 36,000, you get it is 1.15. This you can write as 1 plus R over 100 to power. So we simplify this. This will be, if you divide by 4, it is 5 divided by 3. is equals to 1.15. So with that, we can get the inverse of this. So we'll be able to write this. Will be able to write 1 plus r over 100 is equals to 1.15 raised to power 3 over 5. So there you get the inverse. So this will be when you minus 1 on the other side, you make use of your calculator, you find r over 100 is equals to 0.087 473 and then we have 554. So you multiply by 100, you get r is 8.74773,554. You say r is approximately 8.7%. So that is a interest rate using the compound interest rate using the 36, the market price as the principal. But say Karaoke borrowed that 6,000 Kenyan shillings from a financial institution to purchase a similar cooker. The financial institution charged a compound interest rate equal to the rate in B above for 24 months. Calculate the interest paid correct to 1 decimal place. So we are going to make use of this space here. So we'll say that 6,000. The rate is the same. You can say it is 1 plus 8.7, which is the same as you multiply by 1 point when you add 0.87 squared. That is for 2 years, and that is equals to, that should give you 42,536.484. So when you get that, then you subtract that. That is the amount you would pay. Then you subtract 36,000 from that. So you can say it is 42,536.484. You subtract 36,000. You'll be able to get this will give you 6,536.484, which is approximately 6,536. So that is the interest Karaoke paid correct to the nearest ceiling, because here 0.484 is less than 0.5. We ignore that and we get that is the interest. So that is how you work out that question. Question number 18. Question number 18, we are told Mute cycled to raise funds for a charitable organization. On the first day, he cycled 40 kilometers. For the first 10 days, he cycled 3 kilometers less on each subsequent day. Thereafter, he cycled 2 kilometers less on each subsequent day. A. Calculate, Roman number 1, the distance cycled on the 10th day. So, Roman number 2, the distance cycled on the 16th day. If Mute raised 200 Kenyan shillings per kilometer, calculate the amount of money collected. So you start by saying, since he was started with 40 kilometers, it means that and was reducing each day by 3 kilometers for the first 10 days. So the second one is 37, the third one is 34, So the sequence is like that. We can say common difference is equals to 37 minus 40, which is equals to minus 3. And therefore, to answer part, the distance cycled on the 10th day, so the 10th end term of this is an arithmetic sequence. End term is calculated. Term is equals to a plus n minus d into bracket minus 1 not d minus 1 into bracket multiplied by d. So because we are looking for 10th term is equals to, the first term is 40, and we add plus, this will be 10 minus 1 and multiply by minus 3. So this is equals to, that you'll be able to get, it is 40 plus 9, that is 9 times minus 3, that will be minus 27, and this will be able to get is equals to 13. So on the 10th day, he cycled 13 kilometers. Part B, the distance covered cycled on the 16th day. You note here that the following, after the 10th day, he was reducing by 2 kilometers. So it means since that on the 10th day he cycled 13 kilometers, so the next day, 11th day, he cycled, then it means he cycled 11, followed by 9, followed by 7, on like that. So this means that a day is equals to minus 2. That is, we can say it is 9 minus 11, which will give you minus 2. Then you get, okay, since we start 11th day as a first day of the second session, so it means that 16th term is equals to, this will be, the first term is 11. We use this method, 11 plus n is our n is the 6 minus 1, 6 minus 1, and you multiply by minus 2. So that will give you the 6th term, which is equals to 11 plus, this will be 5 multiplied by minus 2. This will be is equals to 11 minus 10 is equals to 1. So it means on the 16th day, Mute cycled only 1 kilometer. Part C, we are told this is part C, this is B, and that is this is part B. This is Roman number 2, part A, and this is A, Roman number 1. So part B, we are told he raised 200 Kenyan shillings per kilometer. Calculate the amount of money collected. So we need to know the number of kilometers that he cycled for the whole journey. Then we multiply by 200 to get the amount. So the formula, since it was cycled differently, the first 10 kilometers he was reducing by 3 kilometers. The second part for 6 days was reducing by 2 kilometers. The formula for finding first 10 days, we'll say S. This is a formula for finding the sum of the first day 10 days. That is n over 2. We put a bracket there, 2a, then we have plus n minus 1 into bracket d, and we close the bracket. So when you substitute this, we will be able to get, this is 10 divided by 2. It started with the 40 multiplied by 2, or we can start let's start by 2 multiplied by 40. Then we have plus 10 minus 1 is 9. That is 9 multiplied by minus 3. So that is how you do that. And by doing that, you'll be able to get 5 into bracket. This will be 80. 9 times 3 is minus 27. And that will give you the number of kilometers is 265. So that's how you get the first 10 days. The second one, let me use this one. We will say the first the 6 days, the next 6 days, it is n over 2. We put the bracket. We can just substitute directly because we already have the formula. So it is 6 over 2 n. You put the bracket. It is 2. It started with 11 kilometers. Then we have plus 6 minus 1 is, that is n minus 1. It's 6 minus 1. You get 5, and you multiply by d, which is minus 2. It was reducing by minus 2. So when you compute this, you'll be able to get this is 3, 22 minus 10, and that will give you 36. So this is equals to, you get it is 3, this is 22, 5 times 2 is minus 10. So you get the second session. She cycled that 6 kilometers. From there, we get the total distance traveled, total number of kilometers. It will be we had 265. You add to that the 6 kilometers, you'll be able to get 1301 kilometers, and therefore the amount raised, which we can put here, we say amount you multiply is equals to 301 multiplied by 200, and you'll be able to get that he was able to raise 60,200. That is the total amount. So that will give you 60,200 Kenyan shillings. That is the amount he was able to raise. So that is the procedure you follow. This topic you covered in Form 3, that is sequence and series. So in case you have not understood, you can go back and check on that topic. Question number 19, we are told the equation of a curve is given by y is equals to 1 plus 3 sine x. Part A, complete the table below for y is equals to 1 plus 3 sine x corrects to 1 decimal place. So you get 2 marks. So here you have been given the row of angle x, that is, and the function y is equals to 1 plus 3 sine x. So you just make use of your calculator and get these values to 1 decimal place. So for example, here when 30, we should be able to get 2.5. Then when it comes to 90, you get 4 just by using the calculator. 120, you get 3.6. Then 150, you get 2.5. Then you have 240, you get minus 1.6. Then you have 270, you get minus 2. Then we have 330. Using your calculator, you should get minus 0.5. And finally, we have 360. You get that is 1. So that is how you feel by working with your calculator. Part B, number on the grid, draw the graph of y is equals to 1 plus 3x sine x for 0 less than or equals to 360, x less than 360. So with that, what we are going to do is we now make use of a grid to be able to plot that graph.
After filling the table, part B, Roman number 1, on the grid provided, draw the graph of y is equals to 1 plus 3 sine x for 0 less than x less than 360. So I have already inserted the table that we are going to use to plot the graph, and I have a grid here. So I'm going. The highest value of y is 4, and the lowest is -2. So if I take that point, I can say 1, say 2, 3, and 4. So that will be my y-axis. Then we have 0 there. We have -1. We have -2. Then we take from 0, we have 30, we have 60, we have, these are degrees, we have 90, we have 120, we have 150, we have 180, 210, 240, 270, we have 300 degrees, we have 330, and we have 360. So that is our x. These are x degrees, and therefore what remains now is to identify the points that are on our table. So when x is 0, y is 1, so y is 1. When x is 30, y is 2.5, 2.5 is there. So we have 60, 3.6, 3.6 there. We have 90, we have 4, 120, 3.6, 150, 2.5, this is 2.5, 180, we have 1, then we have 210, we have -0.5, 210 is -0.5 is there. We have 270 -2, 240 it is -1.6, -1.6 is there. We have 270 is -2. We have 300 is -1.6, and we have 330 is -0.5, and we have 360 is 1. So 330 is 0.1, 5 is -0.5, and 360 is 1. So with these points, we join them using the freehand, and we come up with a graph. So this is a graph of y is equals to 1 plus this 3 sine x. So that is a part B, and you get yourself 3 marks. So let's have a look at what we are supposed to do in part B, Roman number 2. Part B, Roman number 2, we are told state the amplitude of the curve y is equals to 1 plus 3 sine x. So if you look at the curve here, it starts from here, that is from 1, end at 180 at -1, and it repeats itself at 360. So if we draw a line at 1, you can be able to see that the amplitude of the curve is equals to that is 1, 2, 3. If you count here, 1, 2, 3. So amplitude is equals to 3. So that's how we determine the amplitude of the graph. Let's see what we are required to do in the part C. So part C, we are told on the same grid, draw the graph of y is equals to tan x for 90 degrees less than x less than 270. So what we do here is we make a table. So our function is y is equals to tan x. Therefore we can make a table here for this function to have the values. So let that will be our table. So this is our x, and this is tan x. Tan x or y is equals to. So we have at 0, at 90, y is at infinity. At 90 degrees, at 120, y is at minus 1.2. You use your calculator, 1.2. We go to 150. Using your calculator, y is at minus 0.6. Then we have 180. Y is 0, or tan x is 0. We have 210 degrees. These are degrees. 210. We have 0.6. We extend our table here. So we have 240 degrees. The value of y is 1.7, and we have 270. The value of y, or tan x, is at infinity. You run this when you are plotting trigonometric graphs of the tangent. So with these values, we are going to plot the graph of y is equals to tan x. We mark the points. So at 90, we say it is at infinity. So at 120, it is 1.2. That is 1.2. 120, it is minus 1.2. So minus 1.2 is 1.2 is there. At 150, it is minus 0.6. 150, it is 0.6. 0.6 will be there. Then at 180, it is 0. At 210, it is 0.6. And at 240, it is 1.7. 240, it is 1.7. 1.7, that will be that point. At 270, it is at infinity. So what we do is to plot this graph. So that is a graph of y is equals to tan x. We put it here. Y is equals to tan x. So let's have a look at the next part that we are supposed to answer. So part D here, we have use a graph to solve the equation 1 plus 3x sine x. 3 sine x is equals to tan x for 90 degrees less than x less than 270, and you get your mark. So that to solve that, it is where the two graphs cut each other, and it is this point, and the angle is you can one square represents 6, so those are 12. Half of it are 3, so x is equals to 195 degrees, and by getting that, you get yourself 1 mark. So that's how we work out that problem. After this is a diagram showing how marks are awarded in this question. So for part A, filling the table, you are given 2 marks if you fill all the points. That is all the needed values, and you are given 1 mark if you have filled at least 5. So that is the mark. That is 2 marks when you get all the values. When you get 5, you get 1 mark. Part B, you get 1 mark for using the right scale. Then you have plotting, then the curve, and we are given a bonus point when you state the amplitude is equals to 3. So that's how you earn marks in that. Part
C, you get a bonus point for drawing the correct table, making the correct table. This is infinity. Then you get 1 point for the curve being straight, and for plotting, that is plotting and the smoothness of the curve or the fitness of the curve, you get 1 mark. Then by getting the angle 195, which you have got, you get a bonus point. So the total question add up to 10. So that is how marks are awarded in this question. Question number 20, we are told the figure below represent a cuboid EFGHJKLM, in which EF, you are told it is 40 centimeter, FG is equals to 9 centimeter, and GM is equals to 30 centimeter. N is the midpoint of LM, so we have N there. Calculate correct to 4 significant figures the length of GL. So GL, for us to be able to do that, let's draw that line. So that is our GL, and we know MG is equals to 30, so also LF is 30 centimeter. So we can get LG. So LGF is a right angle triangle. So to get GL, that is part A, we get GL is equals to the square root of 30. We use the Pythagoras theorem. The square root of 30 plus the square root of that squared plus 9 squared, and this is equals to this should give you when you add it is 900. That is 900 plus 81. You get the square root, and using the calculator you should be able to get that is 31.32, and this is to 4 significant figures as we are told in the question. So that's how you work out that. We look at question part B, the length FJ. So this is our F and that is our J. So let's draw the line FJ. So that is our FJ, the blue line. So this is part B of the question, and to get FJ is equals to the square root of FH squared plus HJ squared. This is because this FHJ is a right angle triangle, and therefore we can use the Pythagoras theorem. We know this side here, HJ is 30 centimeter, but we don't know FH, so we can find FH by using FE and EH. So it is equals to FH, we can say it is 40 squared plus 9 squared, and then we have now HJ, which is 30 squared. So with that you should be able to get FJ. So you get this is the square root of 1681 plus 900. This will give you, using your calculator, you should be able to get that square root of the addition of that is 2581, and you get the square root is 50.80. That is to 4 significant figures. So that's how you get that. We go to part C. Part C, we are told the angle between EM and this is our EM and the plane EFGH. So let's show that you're using a line. So here we have the projection of line EM and plane EFGH is EG. So we need to find EG, so that we use EG and GM to find that angle. So we say part C, we have we say EG is equals to the square root of 40. We use EF, 40 squared plus 9 squared, and that should give you 41 centimeter. And therefore, once you get that, we know that we can get tan inverse. That is tan. We can call this theta 1. So we say theta, that is, if we draw this line, tan theta, we can say tan theta 1 is equals to opposite, which is 30, the EG, divided by the hypotenuse, the base. Therefore, we get, let me use here, tan inverse of 30 divided by 41. Using your calculator, you should be able to get the angle there, which is equals to you get the angle is 36.19, and that is degrees to 4 significant figures as we are required. So we go to part D. The angle between plane EFGH, this is EFGH, and plane ENF, that is ENF. So we can show that using some lines there. So the projection of the plane EFN and EFGH is the line at the middle of EH, joining the midpoint of FG. So that is the projection is that line up to N. So we can call this theta 2, and to get theta 2, we know from the midpoint of this point to where we have that is 40, and from here to N is 30. So we can say tan theta 2 is equals to tan theta 2 is equals to opposite, which is 30 divided by 40, which is equals to 0.75. Then we get tan inverse of 0.75. That should give us the angle. 36. Use your calculator to get the tan inverse. Hope you know how to do that. 36.87 degrees, and you get yourself 2 marks. Part E of the question, the angle between the lines EH. So we have E and H and GL. Where is GL? This is our GL. So these lines are not connected, and therefore what we do is we translate GL to fit on HK, so that we get the angle between now the KH and HE, where we have now G at H and F at E. So that's what we do. So let's get the angle. So we can call this angle theta 3, and we are going to use now opposite is 30, that is EK. So we say tan, that is part, this is part E. So tan theta 3 is equals to opposite, that is 30, divided by the hypotenuse, which is 9. So you get tan inverse. You can get that and get into decimal and write it here. So tan inverse of 30 over 9 is equals to, that should give you 73.30 degrees, and that is the angle between the line EF and GL. And that is how you work out that question. you get 10 marks. So the following, I'm going to explain how marks are awarded in this question. So for part A, you get the 1 point for getting that is GL. And then part B, you get the 1 mark for the method and 1 mark for the answer. Then we have the other part. Part C, you get a bonus point for getting the length of EG. Then you get the method of finding the angle and 1 mark for getting the answer. Part D, you get 1 mark for the method and 1 for the answer. The same case applies to part E, the method of finding the angle and getting the correct angle, and that totals up to 10 marks. So that's how you are awarded marks in this question. Question number 21. A quantity P varies partly as the square of m and partly as n. When P is equals to 3.8, m is equals to 2, and n is equals to minus 3. When P is equals to minus 0.2, m is equals to 3, n is equals to 2. Part A, find the equation that connects P, m, and n, and you get 4 marks. So, to interpret this statement, quantity P varies partly as a square of m, we say P is equals to, we can use A as a constant, m squared. Then we have plus, we use B, n. So that is a statement. So what we do, we replace the values of P, m, and n. So we'll say when m is 2, so that means it is 4 is plus, that is n is minus 3, so we have minus 3, b is equals to P is 3.8. Alright, we come to this other one. When m is 3, so we square, so we say it is 3 squared is 9a. Then we have plus, n is 2, so we multiply 2 multiplied by b is equals to, the value of p is minus 0.2. So these are simultaneous equations which we can solve using either substitution or elimination method, but the best method is elimination. So we eliminate b by multiplying here by 2 and we multiply here by 3, so that we have 6 here. So this will give us 8a, let's write here 8a, we multiply minus 6b is equals to 7.6, and when you multiply the other one, you get 9 times 3 is 27a plus 6b is equals to minus 0.6. So we can eliminate b by adding, so that because this is minus and this is plus, so when you add, you get this is 35a is equals to, you minus 7.6 plus minus 0.6 will give you 7. So a is equals to 35, not 35 but 7 over 35, which is 1 over 5, which is the same as 0.2. So if a is 0.2, then how do we find b? We substitute b in one of our equations. So we say we take 4a, so we take 4 multiplied by 0.2 minus 3b is equals to 3.8. So we have substituted in that equation, and when you simplify that, you will be able to get we will take 3b to one side. So we have 3b is equals to, take this to the other side, so that will be minus 8 minus 0.8 minus that will be minus 3.8, and we have 3b is equals to that will give you minus this will give you, when you add that, you get so this is not minus but a plus here, because we are multiplying 4 times minus 2. So this will give us 3 minus 3. You divide both sides by 3, you get b is equals to minus 1, implying that the equation that connects p, m, and n is p is equals to 0.2 m squared minus n. So that is a formula connecting p, m, and n. So the other one, the value of p when m is equals to 10 and n is equals to 4. So you just substitute the values of m and p in our equation. So we say this is part B, Roman number 2. We say p is equals to 0.2 multiplied by 10 squared, then this is minus n is 4. So this is it. This is equals to, this is 100 multiplied by 0.2 is 20 minus 4, which will give you 16. So p is equals to 16. We look at part B. Express p in terms of express m in terms of p and m. That is, you make m the subject. So from here we have let's say we say m is equals to, we take n to the other side, it becomes p plus n becomes positive once it crosses the equal sign. We divide by 0.2, so we are left with m squared, and we get the square root for both sides. So m is equals to the square root of p plus n all over divided by 0.2. And finally we have part C, which we can say part C, if p and n are increased by 10%, find the percentage increase in m correct to 2 decimal places. So we can say our new m is equals to the square root. P is increased by 10%, so the p will be 1.1 of p, that is plus 1.1 of n, and this is divided by 0.2, where we can factor n the square root of 1.1, and that is p plus n over 0.2. So here you note that now this is our odd m, which we can put here. That color is not very visible. So if we get our new m is equals to, we get the square root of 1.1. So our new m is 1.0488 of the odd m, because this is the odd m. This is the odd m. So this is our new m is equals to, we can say this is to 2 decimal places, 1.05 of odd m, meaning that the m was increased by percentage increase. Increase is 5%. So that's how you get the increase in m. and you get your 10 marks. So the following, I'll show you diagrams of how the marks are awarded in this question. So for part A, you get one mark, bonus mark, that for expressing the statement of P. Then you get another mark for solving, that is working out, substituting, and you get another mark for getting, here they have used K1 and K2, but I used A and B, so you get a mark for that. You get a bonus point for expressing the P in terms of the constants that you have worked out, and finally the bonus point when you get 16. That is, you substitute 10 and 4, you get 16. So the other part. So here you get 1 mark for the method. You get 1 mark for the method, and one mark for expressing M in terms of P and M. Then when you write the statement, the increase in percentage, you get 1 mark for the method. Once you substitute that and you get how you get the percentage, you get another mark, and finally you get a mark by getting the answer totaling to 10. Our answer, we have obtained 5% because I applied 2 decimal places when I was getting the square root of 11, which I still believe is correct to do that. Question number 21, we are told a particle was moving along a straight line. The acceleration of the particle after t seconds was given by 9 minus t meters per second squared. The initial velocity of the particle was 7 meters per second. So find A, the velocity v of the particle at any given time. So what we know is that we have been given acceleration, which we know is we obtain acceleration as dv over dt. Therefore, which is given as this is part A, which is given as 9 minus t meters squared per second squared. So this means that we can obtain v by integrating we integrate the acceleration. We integrate 9 minus t with respect to dt. This is because when you differentiate velocity against time, change in velocity with time, you get acceleration, and this you'll be able to get when you integrate. You get 9t minus the other one will be this is here we have 3, so it is 3t squared over 2 plus c, but we know at t is equals to 0, t is equals to 0, v is equals to 7. V is equals to, the velocity was 7. Therefore, if we substitute in our function here, you find v is equals to 7, implying that is the initial velocity, implying velocity is equals to 9t minus 3t squared divided by 2 plus 7. That is part A. We go to part B of the question, and we are told the maximum velocity of the particle. So maximum velocity, we know that it will be at dv over dt is equals to 0, which is the same as acceleration, implying that 9 minus 3t is equals to 0. 3t is equals to 9. implying that t is equals to 3. So 3 seconds. That is 3 seconds. That is when you have maximum velocity. Part C. So we can use part C here. We can say the distance covered by the particle. So before we go to C, we need the maximum velocity. So because we have obtained time, so to get the velocity, this is a velocity, we will be able to substitute t. So this will be 9. You multiply by 3, then you minus 3 over 2, multiply by that to give us 9, that is t squared, and then we have plus 7, and that will be, this will give you 27 minus 27 over 2 plus 7, which should give you, when you work it out, it is 34 minus 13.5. So the maximum velocity comes to 20 meters per second, or you can also write it as meters per second square, like that, per second. You can that is 2 inverse 1, s to inverse 1. So that is how you get the maximum velocity. We go to part C. The distance covered by the particle by the time it attained the maximum velocity. So to get the distance, which we normally use s to represent, we integrate velocity. That is the velocity, which is our velocity is 9t minus 3t squared. You divide by, that is 6. They divide by 2, not 6. We have not integrated. We divide by 2, then plus 7, and this is with respect to dt. And because we are talking of when by the time it attained the maximum velocity, it is, we integrate within the limits of 0 to 3. So when you integrate this, you get this, you integrate 9t, you get 9t squared, divide by 2, then you have minus 3t cubed, divide by 6, and then we have plus 7t, and this is the limits of 0 to 3. So you just substitute your value of t in 3 in place of t. So this will give us 81 divide by 2, then you have minus the other one will be 3 times 27, 3 times 27, all this is divided by 6, and then you have plus 21. You close that, you substitute t 0 in place of t, because every term here has a t, it will be 0, so it is minus 0. And when you work out this, you will be able to get, it is this will give you 27 plus, that is 27, this is 81 divided by 2 is 40.5. You minus this will be 13.5, that you get 27 plus 21, and this is equals to, you'll be able to get 48 meters. So by the time the particle attained the maximum velocity, it had covered 41 meters. So that's how you do that, and you get yourself 10 marks. So let's go through the awarding of marks and see where you are awarded marks by the examiner. So part A, you get a bonus point for being able to express acceleration or velocity as an integral of acceleration. You get another mark for integrating, that is integrating your velocity, which you had expressed earlier. Another method for identifying that C is equals to 7 by substituting T is equals to 0 in your velocity up there, and finally you get 1 mark for expressing velocity in terms of T. So that you get 4 marks in part A. Part B, you get a bonus point for getting T is equals to 3 by by working on acceleration. You get the method point for getting velocity, and that is substituting T is equals to 3, and finally you get 1 mark for expressing maximum velocity, which is 20.5. Then we go to part C. Part C, you get 1 mark, method mark, for integrating with the limits that you have there, that is from 0 to 3. When you integrate and you substitute the limits, you get a method mark, and then finally you get 1 mark for the answer, that is 48, totaling to 10 marks for the whole question. So if you work it correctly like that, you should be able to score 10 marks. Question number 23, of a statistic question. We are told the marks scored by 40 students in a mathematics test were as shown in the table below. So we have the marks classified like 48 to 52, 53 to 57, on and on to 73 to 77. So part A, find the lower class boundary of the middle class. So the middle class is that class that has the highest frequency. The frequency here is the number of students. So this is the class that has the highest frequency, and the class boundary is we subtract 0.5 for 63. So you can say class boundary is equals to 62.5. That is a class boundary of middle class. Part B, using an assumed mean of 64, calculate the mean mark, and you get 3 marks. So assumed mean, or the working mean, or in another word we call it the working mean. For you to be able to work this efficiently, you need to make a table that has the class, the midpoint, the deviation, and so forth, so that you'll be able to work comfortable. So what I will do is I will insert a table here. So you just draw a table using your hand, but because I'm limited with space, I have prepared my table, and I'm going to show you how you fill the table. So this is a table that you need to prepare. This is just to make your work easier. I have already inserted the classes. So here is the midpoint, and to get the midpoint, you need to subtract the upper class limit. You subtract lower class limit. For example, you have 52, you subtract 48, that should give you 4. You divide by 2, you get it is equals to 2. So you add 2 to 48, so here you get 50. You add 2, you get 55. You get 60, you get 65, you get 70, you get 75. From there, since our working mean, assumed mean, is equals to 64, we subtract, this is our x, we subtract the midpoint. You must subtract 64 from the midpoint, so 50 minus 64, you'll be left with minus 14. This you will be left with minus 9. This you'll be left with minus 4. Here you have 1. Here you have 70, you have 6, and here you have 11. Frequency we have already been given in our table, so we just copy that. So we have 3, we have 4, we have 10, we have 12, we have 8,
and we have 3. Then we multiply the frequency times the deviation, that is FD, and this you get, it is minus 42. This you get minus 36. This you get minus 40. Here you get 12. Then here you get, you multiply, you get 48. Then you need, you find here it is 33. The other one is the cumulative frequency. To get the cumulative frequency, you just add up the frequency. So you start with 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 plus 10 is 17. 17 plus 12, you get 29. 29 plus 8, you get 37. 37 plus 3, you get 40. The total of the cumulative frequency should be equals to the sum of the frequency. That is the last value of the cumulative frequency. Here, because we need to, if you look at we are supposed to draw the cumulative frequency table. So we fill the cumulative frequency column. So we have this one, the upper class boundary is 52.5. This is 57.5. This is 62.5. This is 67.5. 67.5. Then we have 72.5, and finally we have 77.5. So with these values, we should be able to do Roman number 2 of part B, that part C, that is we draw the cumulative frequency curve. We draw the cumulative frequency curve. Use the cumulative frequency against the upper class boundary. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is the grid that I'm going to use. We can start from 0. Along the y-axis we put the cumulative frequency. So there we have 10, we have 20, we have 30, and we have 40. You note that the cumulative frequency goes up to 40 rather. Then here we can put a zigzag line to show that our upper class limit boundary does not start from 0. Since our class limit start at lower class boundary start from 52.25, we can start with the lower one. So we say it is 47.5, so that we come to now we have 52.5, then we have 57.5, we have 57, we have 62.5, 62.5, we have 67.5, 67.5, then we have 72.5 and 77.5, and that is our class boundary. This is we can change that to class boundary, upper class boundary. So from there we now plot our graphs. So we start with the 52.5. The cumulative frequency is 2. So we can come and get our point 2 is there. 57, cumulative frequency is 7. So our 7 is there. Then we have at 62.5 we have 17. So 17 is there. Then we have at 67.5 we have 29. So here we have this is 29. Then we have
72.5. We have 37. We have 37. Okay, let's correct. This is 29. Not that is 29. The other one is 37. So 37, that's 35, 36, 37, and 77.5. We have finally 40. So what we do is we are going to join these points to come up with a cumulative frequency curve, which we also refer to as a ogive. So that is our cumulative frequency curve, which we also call the ogive, and when you do that, you get yourself 3 marks. So the last part, use the graph to estimate the semi-interquartile range. So quartile range is when we divide our data into 4 equal times, and because our total data are 40, the lower quartile is at 10, so we read the value that is at 10 correspond to 10, this value here, and if you read that value correctly, you'll be able to get that is you'll be able to get it is around that is around 59. So Q that is you find Q1 is equal to around 59. Q2, you read the value that corresponds with 30. Here you read that value, and when you read that value, you find it is about 69. This is plus or minus 0.5, plus or minus 0.5. So we can say interquartile range is equals to you can say 60. This one is coming to 68, so it is 68 minus 59, which divide by 2, which is equals to 4.5. So that's how you do that. So by doing this, you have earned or scored 10 marks. If you have followed all the steps that we have done. So let's now look at where you score marks from the examiner marking your paper a question like this one. So in part A, you get a bonus point, 1 point, for stating or writing the class boundary of the model class. Part B, you get 1 mark for the method, but you find that the way it is presented here, it is not very clear. That is why I recommended that we make a table, because now how do you get 42 from 64? That means you have done a lot of background work, which you may end up getting it wrong. You get another mark for calculating the mean, that is the method, and you get 1 mark for the answer. So this is the method, this is the mark for the method, and this is the mark for the answer. This is the method mark, and this is the bonus mark. So you get 4 marks in that section. Here you get 1 mark for preparing the table or creating the cumulative frequency, so you get 1 bonus mark. So in this section, you get 1 mark for plotting, that is for the plotting, that is using the right scale and so forth. You get another mark for the curve, the smoothness, and if it fits the points that you have identified. Then you get a bonus point when you identify the lower quartile and the upper quartile. You get a method mark when you use you get the semi-interquartile range. That is how you do it, and finally you get 1 mark for the answer, which is 4.5, totaling to 10 marks. So here they have used a different kind of graph or grid, so it depends on the graph that you have been given in the exam.
Otherwise, you choose the appropriate scale, and that is how you do that question. So question number 24, we are told, this is from matrices and transformation. We are told a quadrilateral with the vertices at K11, L41, and M23 and N13 is transformed by a matrix T is equals to 1, 3, 0, 1 to a quadrilateral KLMN prime. So part A, determine the coordinates of the image. So to determine that, we pre-multiply the matrix that is formed by the quadrilateral by the matrix. So we say then we have 1, 3, that is 3, this is 0, that is 1. The matrix will be for K, it is 1, 1. We have 4, 1 for L. We have 2, 3, and we have 1, 3. So you multiply the way we multiply matrices. So it is 1 times 1, you get 1. 3 times 1 is 3, so 1 plus 3 you get 4. Then you have 1 times 4 is 4, plus 3, that will give you 7. Then we have 1 times 2 is 2, plus 9, that is 11. And then we have 1 times 1 is 1, plus 9, that is 10. This other one is easy because it is 0 times 1, 1 times 1 is 1. So it is the row that is, the second row will repeat itself because the second, that element is 0. So we have the second element repeating itself, and the other element is 1. So this means that our K prime is 4, 1, and then we have our L prime is 7, 1. We have M prime, we have it is 11, 3, and finally we have N prime, which is 10, 3. 10, 3. So that is how you get the coordinates of the image. On the grid provided, draw the object and the image. You get 2 marks. So you have there is a grid that is provided. So let me put my grid and be able to plot, since I have now the coordinate. So what I have done here is I have inserted a grid because of space that will be enough for my graph. I have calculated that the highest value of x is 11 and the highest value of y is 3. So this portion of the grid will be enough. So I'll start from here. It is 0. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3. So that is my y. The x, we start with the 1. We have 2, we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So that is my x. Then what I'll do is to plot the points of the coordinates of the image. So we use that. So k is 1, 1. So that is where we have our k. That is our k. R is at 4, 1. So we have this is 4, 1. This is where we have our L. We put our L there. Our M is at 2, 3. 2, 3. So this is where we have our M, and our N is at 1, 3. That is 1, 3. That is our N. So we join the 4 points to come up with the quadrilateral. So that is our quadrilateral, that is the object. And now you go ahead and identify the points of the image. So K is at 4, 1. So we have 4, 1. That is the position of K.
So that is our K prime. Our L is 7 1, so here is our L prime, and our M is 11 3. 11 and 3 is here, so this is M prime, and N is at 10 3, so 10 3 is there, so that is where we have our N prime. So we join the lines together to come up with the image, the quadrilateral image. So this is the image that we obtain by plotting the coordinates of the image, and then we look at part C. We are told this Roman number 1, describe fully the transformation which maps KLMN onto KLMN prime. So if you observe the object and the image, the transformation is a shear transformation. It is a shear. And how do we describe shear? We look at the invariant line. If you look at this, if you extend the line ML like that, and of the object and the image, they meet at the x-axis. If you produce so that means that they share a common point at around 6. So it means the x is the invariant line, and therefore x-axis or y is equals to 0 invariant. So that is how we describe. If you extend Kn, you find that they meet with the Kn of both the image. So you can see now this is the line that is invariant. That is why we are saying x-axis is invariant, or the y-axis. We can do that. From there, we are required to find to determine the area of the image. So if you look at the area of the image, then we say that the area can be calculated. So we say area is equals to it is a kind of a trapezium. So we will say here we have 3 units, that is K prime L prime. So we have 3 units plus the NM is 1. You divide by 2, the formula of finding the area of a trapezium, and the height is 2 units, so you multiply by 2. So this is equals to this is 4 divided by 2 is 2, multiply by 2 is 4 square units. So that's how you find the area. Then finally, find the matrix that maps KLMN prime onto KLMN. So this is to mean that we are required to find the matrix, that is the matrix T inverse. Because T inverse will reverse the process. It is equals to, first of all, we need to get the determinant of the matrix. So determinant is equals to product of the elements of the main diagonal, that is 1 times 1, minus product of the other diagonal, which is 3 times 0, is equals to, that is 1 minus 0 is 0. So to get the inverse of T, it is 1 over determinant into bracket. We interchange the elements of the main diagonal, and because here we have 1 and 1, so they remain the same. And then we introduce a negative to the other diagonal. So here we have minus 3, and here we have 0. Minus 0 is the same as 0, which when you open the bracket, you should be able to get 1 minus 3, 0 and 1. So that is a matrix that can map a KLMN onto K prime onto KLMN, and by doing that you get yourself 2 marks. So that is the whole process that you are supposed to do to get a full score of this question. Let's have a look at how marks are being awarded in this question. So you get 1 mark for the method, that is multiplying. That is a method. You get 1 mark. You get your answer, you get mark. So those are 2 marks, and you get a bonus point when you now write the coordinates in this form. That is from the matrix to coordinate form. You get a bonus mark. So those are 3 marks you score there. So in the second part, you get a bonus point. Okay, the image here is not as clear as what we have done, but by drawing that, you get a bonus. You get a point there. This is a bonus point. That is that point. By drawing the object, the image, you get a bonus point, which is there. By stating the transformation, you get a bonus point. With that's another point, this one. Then you get a bonus point when you describe the point that is changing. So this is another bonus point. And finally, you get a bonus point of calculating the area. So those are the marks that you score in that part. Finally, by writing how you get the T inverse, you get a method mark. That is a method mark. You get method mark, and you get answer. You get when you multiply, you get the inverse of T. You get the answer, the matrix. You get one answer mark. That the total marks add up to 10. So if you follow that procedure that we have done, you should be able to score a whole mark in such kind of a question. So mathematics is not the answer. We don't mark the answer, but rather we mark the process and the answer that you get. So you should always be careful the way you put your method, the way you organize your work. So that's how you do that question.